Hey guys, welcome to the video on exceptions to Mendel. I have two goals here. One, I want to teach you guys about how Mendel is not always true, and I want to teach you guys about how the environment can actually affect traits and make things appear different depending upon the environment that you're in. So the first exception to what we've learned so far is something we call incomplete dominance, and this one makes perfect sense. What happens here is that if you take two different traits and you combine them together in a baby, you get like some combination of the two. So if you took a red flower and a white flower, and red is dominant and white is recessive, and you made them have a baby, then the result will be a pink flower. This is incomplete dominance. And the definition the book uses here is that it's the dominant trait that isn't really fully shown. Because pink is kind of red, it's getting there, but it's not really red yet because there's not enough of it. This is incomplete dominance. And the follow-up logical one for this is called codominance, and this is when both traits are being shown. So a good example of codominance is what you see right here. And what you see here is that the dominant is red, the recessive is white. However, if they get put together, you get red and white flowers. So you see both the white and the red. This is an example of codominance and how this works. The next one is getting a little bit more complicated, and we're going to deal with rabbits. Now, what we got here is that in multiple alleles, there are lots of different alleles that exist for a trait. So for example, what would happen here is rather than black versus white for a trait, you might get black versus white versus yellow versus green. Basically, each is going to have its own allele. Blood type is like that in humans, and I'll explain that here in a second. But let's go ahead and go with rabbits, because I know a lot of people in the classroom love them some rabbits. So, for example, the C is going to be dark gray. So if you have C, you're going to have dark gray fur if you're a rabbit. If you have the CH gene, you're going to be light gray. If you have the H gene, you're going to be white with black points on your neck. If you are going to be little c, well, then you're just going to be white. And here you can see that, well, there's an order of dominance, where dark gray is going to be the most dominant, with chinchilla, light gray, being the next, followed by Himalayan, which is the white with black spots next, and followed by white being the last. So this one right here is going to show you the dominance. Now, with humans, what you've probably heard is, well, we have three blood types. We have A, we have B, and we have O for human blood types. Well, what's going to happen is if you have type AB blood, what this means is you have the A allele and the B allele. If you have type AO blood, that means you have the A allele and the O allele. If you have type B blood, that means you have the B allele and the O allele. If you're type O, like I am, that just means you have two type O. You have two O alleles. So this is kind of like how multiple allele works. It's just saying there are multiple alleles that are going to affect it. The next one is called polygenic, and some of you guys have heard me say this before because it's one I've used a lot in the classroom. Polygenic is when a lot of alleles affect a trait. So what happens here is that many different alleles are going to work together to give you the trait. And let's play with skin color. Skin color is a good example of this, because with skin color you're going to see things like people who have really dark skin. Well, they're going to have A, B, B, C, C, all capital. So what that means is they have every single letter possible. Now, people who are maybe coming from the Middle East, they're going to have something along this lines right here. So they might have big A, big B, big C, or they might have big A, little a. As you see, the more recessive traits you get, the more little letters you get, the lighter your skin color. So I would say a lot of people from Asia would fall somewhere in this category right here, where they have some combination of capital letters and lowercase letters. Whereas someone from my area is going to be somewhere in this area here, where we maybe have a couple of big letters, but not very many. This is a polygenic trait. And the problem with genetics, and we haven't talked about this much, is most traits in genetics are polygenic. So even if we did know what was going on, the problem is that oftentimes there's just a lot of alleles that are constantly working together to make you the way you are. So height is another great example. Height is polygenic. So if you have two people who are tall get married, well, it just depends upon which combination of alleles they have. It can get kind of complicated. Like I said, most of these genes are this way. I've said a couple times beforehand that eye color is one of them. Eye color is polygenic. It's why you get things like blue versus green versus light blue versus red versus all the wonderful colors a person can get. And hair color is also polygenic. And so is skin color, as we see from the example right here. Okay, the last part here, guys, we're just going to barely touch on a little bit because, boy, it's a complicated topic and we are not going to cover it very much in this class. And it's going to be genes and the environment. What happens is that the environment, the world around you, can decide which genes are turned on and are turned off. This entire field is called epigenetics, and it's very new. And by very new, guys, I'm saying like the books about this are maybe 10 years old. So you guys are older than the research on epigenetics. It's a very new field. And it's super complicated. We don't understand it yet. We're trying to through research, but I can tell you guys it's going to be a little bit before we understand how all this works. Most of this is happening in terms of humans and animals, and the most popular one is with obesity, basically being fat. What you probably don't know is that people who are obese are going to see changes in their DNA that are going to make them more likely to be obese. So you have two people here. Let's say they're the same person. This person here is skinny, and this person here is, we'll just call them overweight. So the overweight person's DNA is going to get changed because the body is going to make some changes to it. And what that means is if this guy right here, if he has a baby, and let's say he has a baby with a woman who's also overweight, what's going to happen is that their baby is probably also going to be overweight. Or I should say, it'll be a lot harder for their baby to lose weight compared to this guy's baby. Because what we're discovering is that the body makes changes, and those changes become not permanent, but they become something that your body gets used to. So if two overweight people have a baby, well then their baby is going to have a really hard time losing weight, and will probably also be overweight. However, if a couple of skinny people who are in healthy shape, if they have a baby, there's a pretty good chance that their baby is also going to be fit, and they're going to be in good shape. Now, it's possible for a person who's overweight to change to be skinny because you can change the environment. But the thing is that it's kind of like it's a preference. Your body tries to create a preference for one over the other. And that's how genes in the environment work. Alright guys, those are the exceptions to Mendel. I hope that stuff helped you guys out, understanding what are some of the differences between Mendel traits and the more complicated traits, and maybe seeing a little bit about how the environment is going to affect your genes. Thank you very much for paying attention, and I will see you guys.